Hello, taking a look at Tabby Tower. This is a game I've not played before. I'm going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open here. It simply says, stat cats and watch out for fans. So not much info to go off of, but we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So I haven't seen anything past this screen. This is what you see when you first launch the game. Let me adjust my seat a little bit here. I did bop it into the full screen mode with Alt Enter. It originally starts out in kind of a small little window, and you can see it's kind of letterboxed at the top and bottom. For some reason, the aspect ratio is quite wide, but I don't know if this is mouse controlled. I actually don't know anything, so we're gonna give this a shot. Oh, okay, I can click on that arrow. Oh, so I can kind of click on the top and bottom of the screen, I guess. Can I? Oh, okay, so I can click and drag. So maybe this is sort of a Angry Birds-esque thing, it looks like. Oh, it's spinning. I was enjoying the funny sound effects. That's a lot of velocity. How did it end up spinning like that? Was that like something? Uh-oh. Alright, we got it stuck to the bottom here. Oh, what the heck? I don't think it's supposed to do that. Wait, why is there a second one? Alright, that's confusing. Alright, so for whatever reason, we have kind of a limited view that we have to manage here. It seems a bit problematic. I'm guessing that the funny aspect ratio here might be because this is intended to be played on a mobile device, which tends to have a wider than 69 aspect ratio when played sideways. However, I'm wondering how much the fact that you can't see the whole screen at the same time is going to affect the gameplay, because it seems a bit problematic. I haven't actually played the game to any real extent so far. Oh, it looks like I can just kind of click and hold up and down also too. Interesting. So let's just kind of... Oh, so it looks like if I just tap briefly on the top or bottom, it doesn't go all the way. It kind of waits for me to hold the button for a moment. So yeah, it looks like when I'm dragging this... Oh, wait, what is the kitty doing to the other kitty? What the heck? But yeah, it gets a bit problematic if I'm trying to drag it to the, kind of off the screen here. Like, this is still part of the game space, but it's not on the screen. Oh. And yeah, there's some... What? There's some glitchiness going on. I don't know... Okay, yeah, I don't know anything that's happening right now. I think there's some glitches. It looks like I got this big fat kitty thing now, but I guess I'm supposed to launch these over here. It did mention in the game page you're supposed to try to stack them. So maybe this goes up, actually. Maybe it goes up and up, that kind of thing. I don't think this is supposed to happen, but yeah, there's definitely a bit of glitchiness, as I mentioned. Oh, they hold on to each other. That's so funny. Okay, can I go this way? I guess we have cat blocks times 10 and the bells times 22. I don't know what that means. I guess we're trying to stack these. Looks relatively stable. They do grip each other. This still says extend. Yeah, so this looks like we've gone up higher. Alright, so that kind of necessitates the moving up and down, I guess. So that does make sense, but there's definitely some quirkiness when you start dragging this without having the camera in place. So it seems like you can drag it upwards. I guess this is kind of a floor, this black bar, so maybe that's... He's trying to grab that one. So maybe this is something about the floor here is what was causing the issue. Oh, that's really weird. Yeah, so I don't know why it's like launching another cat when I start screwing around like this. Oh gosh, and that's the other thing. Okay, so for some reason you can interact with with this kind of active piece just like doing this kind of stuff. Why does this other one jump out? I'm so confused. Now that it's grabbing this active one. Alright, so yeah, it would seem to me that it would make more sense if the one floating here wouldn't actually be like active in the simulation until you launch it, something like that, so that all this funky stuff doesn't happen. Right now it looks like I can kind of cheat a bit by... Oh, what the heck? Why does it throw more? I'm so confused about that. I can kind of manipulate this. Why is it throwing more? Oh, I got some stuff up there. Oh, what? It landed on this thing. Oh gosh darn it, that's not good. This is gonna launch it, right? Yeah. But I'm guessing it's kind of permanently... Oh, it's not permanently up there, so now that I scrolled back down... alright, so that's interesting. I can understand why it doesn't want me to scroll up higher, but I was up higher before until I scrolled down, so in theory I could have kept launching kitties as long as I didn't scroll down, which is a little weird to think that you could kind of hold on to that advantage or lose it just from scrolling. Like, I would think that the scrolling aspect of it would be kind of divorced from affecting the gameplay in any way other than moving your view, you know. So in this case, by scrolling, I actually made something bad for me happen. So it's slightly unusual. Now this kitty does rotate. Oh, I got it stuck. Alright, that one's stuck in the ground. I'm wondering how the rotation affects... This one isn't rotating now. Now it's rotating, so I'm wondering how that affects tossing, because it seems to maintain that, which is maybe disadvantageous, potentially? I don't know. Does it matter how many we use? Alright, I think that landed neatly on this. This thing just flung itself. Alright, yeah, that's... Okay, so scrolling can make this fling things off it too. So yeah, it looks like we need to... I mean, unless any of this kind of crazy stuff is intended, it looks like we need to kind of remove some of this stuff from being purely simulated all the time, because we're getting into these, I don't know if you want to call them edge cases, but these little things that are happening that's not really intended as part of the gameplay, just from the simulation and all of its many factors being rather unmanageable. So definitely seems like... No, I don't know what that gray bar is up there. This bar here, I don't know what that is, but I guess... So we can... Oh, okay. Now is this gonna... What happened? What was that? Why was that so pathetic? It didn't follow the line at all. That was weird. Alright, so another thing is that of course we don't really have much of a foundation with just this one little piece, so it's gonna make more sense to get more of these. Alright, this is also a little backwards to me, so kind of the way I would expect this to intuitively move the camera is sort of a click and drag, which is also very common on, of course, mobile devices, so I don't know if maybe this control scheme was intended for the mouse or whatever, but as it is right now, it's kind of like click and drag down to go down, whereas I would kind of expect that dragging downwards would make the view go up. Much more common in anything mobile, and it feel more intuitive to me. I don't know if that would be something you consider as like an option or whatever, but I would make that the default at least. No. Alright, we're still losing kitties here. I mean, this isn't... It's kind of a reckless pile. Oh, that guy flew off there. So we might presume that... Oh no. Might presume that there's gonna be some kind of limitations. Oh, okay, so... Maybe not the best physics interactions. Alright, this kitty grabbed... I just tried to move the view down and this kitty grabbed onto another one. Now they flew up through the floor. But yeah, some of these kitties are interacting in rather unstable ways, which I don't know anything about how to deal with that, those kind of technical elements. But definitely makes some of this stuff a bit unpredictable. But yeah, so I moved the view and it missed. Okay, I see. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's intended, maybe in a future build or whatever, to be some kind of limitation. Wonder why this is X11 up here. I don't know. Maybe some kind of limitation in terms of how many kitties you get, or, you know, something to kind of gamify this rather than... Right now it's sort of like an interactive toy, I think, where you can just keep stacking. Well, theoretically you could keep stacking infinitely, but I guess it also makes sense that, you know, if your stack falls over, maybe that's kind of the idea of the game, is that you don't have any limits on the kitties, but eventually it's going to fall over if you don't build it right or something. I guess that kind of counts as like a win-lose mechanic sort of thing. But I don't know what exactly the limiting factor is in terms of like not just spamming endless kitties that just kind of fill the whole area up, you know? Like I would kind of think that maybe there's something that would cause them. I mean, there's been times when they've fallen through the floor and stuff like that and they've been lost or whatever. And apparently... Oh, okay, so another thing I'm just now realizing is that the fact that this wall doesn't continue up here means that they can be lost. Oh, off the edge here. Did this... I just turned the solid by hitting what looked like a ceiling? I thought that was a ceiling fan, like a weird illustration of a ceiling fan. Maybe... Oh. Okay. Oh, he fell. Why did he fall? Alright, so it looks like I kind of unlocked this extra floor. But again, I guess there aren't walls. I think that's another little platform thing. Alright, yeah, so I'm... the controls are kind of weirding me out a bit, but because I keep thinking I can like click here and drag to make this go upwards, and what happens is I kind of click this top part, so it kind of starts moving upwards a little bit, and then I drag down and it kind of does the opposite. Because it's backwards from what I expect, so it's kind of doing both. But yeah, so I guess right now anyways, in terms of limiting factors, we don't have walls. That might make it harder to... Oof, sometimes this doesn't work. Might make it harder to create a stable structure, because you can't just like fill in like a giant mountain of garbage, kind of like we were doing down here. In theory. So that makes it more interesting. I guess you can keep hitting that. I guess this thing acted as a switch. Does it kill the kitties? Do they die? Maybe they're dying. Maybe that is a ceiling fan. And they're dying when they hit that. So I guess that would be another limiting factor. Yeah, it looks like it's killing them. I would suggest making the feedback clearer of what's happening there. Oh, it looks like the number of kitties is going down. So yeah, all right. Seems like we don't have a limit on the number of kitties, but we have a limit on the number of kitties that we can kill, which sounds very morbid. But I guess that does make sense. All right, so yeah, getting a sense of the various limiting factors in play here. I'm worried about... Alright, they do grab each other and they try to kind of get used to that. Might be nice if you could kind of manually rotate this somehow. Like I know you can kind of get it to spin sometimes. Especially if you like, oh gosh, it really launched that guy. But you know, obviously the square ones it doesn't matter so much, but some of these oblong ones you might want to make adjustments to. Not really sure how practical that is. And yeah, it is annoying when it doesn't launch sometimes. It's another thing, I guess it's a factor of the way this is being physically simulated rather than kind of being appropriately removed from the simulation in order to kind of gamify this more. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something that's important, I think, to make this the game behave more consistently. Is no, just knowing. Oh, what is going on with that one? Oh my gosh! But did it just? I don't know what happened to it. It went into the void. But yeah, just knowing when to rely on the simulation and when not to will make a big difference here in terms of the reliability. This stuff, I don't know what you would do about that. In this simulation, oh no, it killed another kitty. Yeah, because it's getting really unpredictable, and that's going to be like a fun killer, I'm afraid. You're trying to do something that seems kind of seems like a normal thing to try and do, but then just the blocks all just kind of spaz out and launch some kitties off somewhere, or launch them into the ceiling fan. Maybe there's maybe there's work you can do to adjust some of this behavior. It does seem like a lot of it's just the way that they cling to each other, which I think is a matter of the code written for the game, not just quirks of the physics engine, you know. Oh, come on. No. Alright, yeah, it's not launching them on the arc here, because some of the physics around this little launchy globular thing are messing things up here. Uh-oh, whoa. Oh no, poor kitties. Yeah, and just the force that they land on the stack with can be quite disruptive. I wonder if the big ones have a lot more force. Well, it's hard to say because this appears to be relatively stable. Please do not fall apart. Oh, that didn't land where I expected it would. It's okay. There's still bells over here. Oh, no. What? Really? Oh my gosh. Oh no, it's interacting with this. So yeah, like if I get kitties under this thing, I also can't scroll. They're all falling through here. I also can't scroll down any further because the one that's floating here starts screwing, and presumably this blob thing that catches them starts like screwing everything it touches. So that would be another reason. Well, I mean, it would be easy to say like if you remove this from the physics interactions while it's on the little circle thing, that you could scroll just fine. But in that case, I guess I wouldn't know what you would do when you were launching it. Like if this whole screen was filled with kitties and then I tried launching it, would it, you know, what would happen then? It would, I don't know, just blow everything up or something. I guess it might be worth doing that just to allow the player to scroll without this running into stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened up here. I don't think it was anything that I directly did. I think the stability of the structure and its physics interactions just fell apart spontaneously, and it was catastrophic. Alright, I'm about to lose this, I guess. I'm not sure if it would be better. Oh crap. So whoa, okay. Yeah, who knows what caused that kind of thing, but that's definitely a fun killer when they just like spaz out randomly, when they appear to be just completely still and everything. um, yeah, I would wonder, maybe would it be better if you could just always, well, would it be better if you could just always scroll up to the highest point you've been versus just the highest point you're currently stacked to? Maybe, maybe not, but another kind of variation on that idea might be if you kind of unlock checkpoints, in a sense, which would mean, like, for example, where this thing didn't show up before and now it kind of showed up and now that's a floor. Maybe that could act as kind of a checkpoint where even if that sounded weird, even if the everything just blew up here and there were no cats left up here, maybe you could still scroll up to this point because it kind of acted as a checkpoint in terms of the scrollability and such. That might make sense. Alright, when you stretch this really far, the dots seem to get... Oh, okay, there's actually not enough dots. So you can see the bottom of the arc. And then it just doesn't show dots anymore. So I don't know, maybe you could just program in more dots. I mean, I guess there's a literal limit in terms of how far you can stretch it. It's not unbound here, so maybe it just needs some more. Just to ensure that that's being reasonable in that way. Is this gonna blow up? Oh, they grabbed each other. There's no way I'm gonna make a really tall... Alright, yeah, I flew into the ceiling fan thing. So yeah, I would... That's pretty annoying. That sounds pretty annoying. I would... maybe this visual could be improved in terms of what it's communicating. So it's more obvious what it is and how it might affect gameplay. And then, of course, like I said before, the feedback when a kitty hits it and dies could be better, so that the player knows what's happening exactly. But yeah, so overall, I would say I'm not sure if there's more to discover in terms of like more twists to the gameplay up higher. It takes a long time to get up there, so it's kind of like I don't necessarily feel particularly motivated about it. Maybe when you get enough bells, it unlocks more kitty blocks, or more lives, I guess. Let's see, this one didn't actually follow the arc correctly. Yeah, that's what that ding sound is. So that's another thing that could use better feedback. Like you could flash on screen somewhere like +1 kitty block or something, and then make it like zoom up here. That kind of thing. I don't really understand the association of like the bells and them unlocking more kitty blocks or whatever, but that probably doesn't matter. Guess it makes as much sense as Mario collecting coins, right? Although everyone wants coins, right? I don't know. But yeah, it's a little... Oh, okay. It is scary when stuff goes above the screen and then you hear the sound effect, because it's like, okay, did I get something good, or did it just like run into one of those ceiling fans or something that was off screen? That actually could be a problem. I could imagine, because you can launch cats like way above where you can see, and you often want to, just to kind of get the arc or whatever. it seems like there's a high likelihood of killing them on something that's off the screen, and I don't really know what you might be able to do to mitigate that if that ends up happening. Because that could be pretty frustrating, I think. What was I saying before that? Yeah, I guess I was saying it's a little hard to stay motivated to keep, very gradually building up like this because of this stuff that happens. So it takes a lot of time. It's a little bit meticulous to try to build this up, and that would probably be fine if you had kind of a constant sense of progression and you kind of get into that, but as soon as something really bad happens, and particularly if it feels like it's not your fault, it kind of ruins the whole thing. Because it's just like, okay, I just spent all that time and it just blew up. And it wasn't my fault, so it's like, why even try if that's just going to happen again at some point? So that would be probably a big deal to try to work out some of that goofiness any way that's possible. I think would help a lot, but the premise of it is it's very simple, and it does have a very easy to understand sense of progression, I guess, once you kind of figure out the few rules that kind of exist here. So yeah, it's easy to understand why this would work as kind of a mobile game time waster, as many mobile games are, and I like the cute aesthetic of it and the sort of Game Boy colors and the sounds. Pretty cool. I'm curious if there's going to be any more mechanics, or if there are any more mechanics that I just never experienced, I guess, or got, or discovered, I guess is the word, in the game so far. What exactly triggers this? Because before I thought it was because I hit the ceiling fan, but it's just such a ridiculous concept. But like, I'm supposed to avoid that, right? Is that really what triggers it? Oh, that went further than it should have. Oh gosh. No, let go. Alright. This is not stable. It hit the fan. Alright, the fan, I guess it isn't what triggers it. I don't know, I understand exactly what triggers it. I'm trying to like build above the line. Obviously some of these blocks are reaching above the line, but I don't know if it expects one of them to like exist entirely above the line before that solidifies. I don't think that's what happened last time, but maybe I managed to trigger that inadvertently. Oh, it died. No, you're supposed to follow the arc. I can't even get above this line. This is a catastrophe. Oh gosh. Maybe it's alright, that's definitely above the line. Maybe it's tied to the number of bells. I'm at 69, maybe if I get 70. Yeah, I guess it's the number of bells. If you get 70, that solidifies. Alright, that makes sense, but again, it's like the player doesn't know that until they maybe figure it out, paying a lot of attention. If they weren't like paying attention to this number really closely and like really kind of trying to figure this out like I was, they probably wouldn't know exactly what triggers it. It'd probably take them a while to actually discover that it's at 70 specifically. If they were just kind of trying to play the game and weren't paying so much attention to it. This thing is really deadly. That ceiling fan, that's too bad. Yeah, so where do we go from here? Did that just... Alright, I guess it doesn't die. It did make a sound when it... Maybe it was picking up the... Why is it making a sound when I'm throwing it like this? Maybe it's touching this little platform and that makes a sound? Maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is. Alright. Something looks like more bells up here. Who knows what's happening down there? Oh gosh. Ah! I get when it looks like they're fighting. I know it's just like really stupid. Like it's not even meant to be that, but it looks funny. I'm probably a little tired. It did not go where I thought it would. So yeah, be nice if it followed the arc a little more accurately, but yeah, I'm interested to see if... Oh no, not the ceiling fan. Interested to see if there are any other mechanics that will come into play at some point. Not that this needs a lot in terms of complexity, but you know, just a little bit more here and there would probably be welcome. That's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not getting further really in this, but hopefully this video is useful. It's an interesting enough idea. It reminds me actually of the World of Goo a bit, where that was kind of about stacking with physics stuff like this, although it didn't have the dragon fling mechanics, whatever you call this. So yeah, I'll wrap this video up, but hopefully it was useful for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.